Hello and welcome to the Football Manager server with me, Muzz, Luke, and Stoojy. How are we doing, boys?
All right.
Good, good. So we have now completed. Well, two of us have completed our first season in the Sky Bet League One, and it has been a very successful season for all three of us. Starting with Mr. Brown, champions of Sky Bet League One. How did you do it, Stuart? How did you get there?
Um,
Good start. Good start.
I went for no reason.
We'll Oxford away. I. Oh my
You're
god.
both us, man. You're just talk.
Right, I'll talk. Shoot, I'll talk. Well, shoot gathers. So Stidgy definitely had a bit of a shaky last kind of couple of months, especially in March, where he lost 3 games out of 4. But then towards the end of April, he brought it back and secured promotion. Lost to Luke, which I think was quite a significant win for Luke, and it could have been a significant win in the title race if Sunderland didn't slip up as well. But anything you want to add, Stuart? Players of the season? Any particular highlight you want to talk about?
well, I'd say middle of February. I was starting to have some doubts in my head as to whether I'm going to win this title or not. And I have to say it was a bit of a bumpy road. Had a few losses along the way. But luckily, got enough wins to secure first place and delighted. In terms of key players, I have to give a shout out to my right winger. What's his name?
Oh,
Harness.
Marcus
Yeah,
Harris.
you're playing it to a weakness. Aye.
Aye. So I gave him a new contract, £8 a week. And I also have to give a massive shout out to George Hurst, who came in on loan at the start of the season. I didn't sign him, but he was a cracking loan. He's a 6'4" striker, and he'd done the job up top.
17 goals, decent return, 6 assists as well.
Yep. And also another shout out to the captain. Well, the previous captain until I took the captaincy off him was my midfield maestro Sean Williams, 35 years old, and he pulls the strings in midfield, and I have to give a shout out to him.
Second top performer in there. Played the most games by the looks of it as well. Or maybe not, actually. I played a majority of them.
Yep.
But
So
looking forward to the championship. Where are you looking to strengthen? Or do you want to keep that close to your chest? Or have you got a few areas that you're looking?
my defence is pretty solid. I've my keeper sorted. I would say the main segment that I need to strengthen is probably my attack, because my defence is very solid last season, and I was possibly I felt as though I didn't score enough goals, if that's a thing. So I would like to think I need to strengthen my forward line, so my wingers and my striker.
As a striker.
Yeah.
All right. Well done on a good a win. I mean, you are the champions of the league. Now we will come to myself and Sunderland, or we should be called Stuarterland, because it was one man really that carried us to victory here. Ross Stewart, record-breaking goal scorer, now has the most goals ever scored in a single season in the Sky Bet League One, breaking an 80-year-old record on the final day of the season. Scored just under half my goals, I think we calculated it at. But
Mhm.
I mean, he's the second place is 20. He's scored 40 league goals, which is ridiculous. I mean, you take out his goals, I'm probably getting relegated. You just have to acknowledge what he's done for the club legend in my eyes with that. But yeah, it was smooth sailing for a while, and then yeah, we just kind of had a few blips along the way. We actually broke another record. We went the longest unbeaten run in the league. I think we ended up with 21 games unbeaten from when Stoojy beat
Oh.
me in the league.
Mhm.
So, but I will say home draws and home form definitely cost us a better chance at getting the title. But the game I want to highlight is this game here. Cup run for myself. Made it all the way to the quarterfinals where we were eventually put out by Man United. But one of the biggest one of the biggest games I've probably overturned in my FM career. Chelsea away from home, who did not play that weak a team. There was Jorginho in there, Kante was in there, Werner was in there, so some top players, and we managed to turn them over. Ross Stewart, of course, getting in, but then Jack Wilshere scoring the winner, and he has been reborn in the second half of the season. But yeah, we were looking good. Ipswich really put us under pressure towards the end of the season. It came down to the wire, and we put in a very professional performance to secure promotion. Um, yeah, so my players, obviously, Ross Stewart, I mean, bow down. He should have a statue outside the ground. We should name a stand after him. We should do just all the things for this season. But shout out to also the German influence that we had in the second half of the season. Renier and Baptiste Mera were fantastic. Uh, Anthony Alanya, lots of loans who really performed. My new boy, Luke Wolfenden, who came in January for a big fee for League One and actually really performed well. So, yeah, I think we all know where I need to strengthen, which is the keeping department. Kieran Westwood has done well, but I'm going to need a much better keeper in the Championship now. I'm maybe potentially looking for another starting centre back. Look to. Just going to look at all areas of the pitch, really. I think the only area where I have really good cover is fullbacks, because I've got two young boys who are they're progressing really well, and I think they will go on to uh, hopefully become, well, they are starters for me at the minute, but become Championship starters as well. Uh, I'm gonna have a think about whether I need a striker in or not, because I mean, it would be very disrespectful to bring in a top striker to replace Stewart, especially after the season he's just had. I mean, I think he's player of the season so far, or player of the season. Should be, yep, highest average rating, most player of the matches. Just, a ridiculous effort from Ross Stewart. And yeah, we're looking ahead. I got a decent budget as well. 4.5 million and 80k. The boys will not like me saying that, but it is just the way it is with a club of Sunderland stature. We have earned the cash, and we're hopefully going to spend it. Oh, and I've also made a pre-contract already for a centre back. This boy looks good. Looks like he could be a good backup squad player for me. So I'm looking forward to that when he comes in. So yeah, that is me. Looking forward to the championship. Now we come to perhaps the most topsy-turvy season. The highs and the lows of Bolton
Mhm.
Wanderers.
Oh yes.
Where do you want to start, Luke? Do you want to start with your league form or...
So we can start on the schedule because that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
So obviously, as we saw in the league table, somehow managed to get myself into the playoffs after what was a pretty particular second half of the season, league wise. When we lost big. Second half of the season, couple of 3-1 defeats, a 3-0 defeat at home against Plymouth, who were at that point in the relegation zone. But after the start of the season, where I had to try a few different tactics in order to find something that fit this calibre of player, I found one, and it was just stripped back to basics. A 4-4-2. It's because the players just couldn't really do what I wanted them to do with anything kind of more complicated than that. But then once they found that form, we started winning the kind of XG battle in most matches. And even the game we lost 3-0. For a good portion of that game, we were ahead in the XG. The 3-1 game against Crewe, we won in XG. But it didn't really matter. We just didn't have the kind of quality of players. So regardless of where I finish now, there's lots of improvements to be made to that squad. If I get any sort of budget, we need people that can score the chances that we create. We need to find a way to stop conceding just about every shot that hits the target, even though my keeper had a fantastic average rating. So I don't really think the problem with him. So maybe there is a tactical issue there. So yeah, from where we were, because we were flirting with relegation, I was flirting with the sack. Kind of December time. The start of December.
The contrast,
and that's when
from September, October, even November. I mean, December was really where you started turning it around.
Yep. Start of December or end of November really is where that's when the change was made. I've changed the formation after the Doncaster loss. That was when my change was made. Because we were really lucky, like the FA Cup against Wimbledon, we were lucky to get through. We didn't perform well in the 0-0 game at home, and then we won 3-2 in extra time. And that started what was probably my greatest achievement in lower league football in FM. Because that run ended up in an FA Cup semi-final, a trip to Wembley, which was kind of nuts. I didn't really know what was happening at the time, to be honest. It still feels like it didn't actually happen.
2 goals as well at Wembley.
Yeah, it was against a brilliant Liverpool side. We had to beat the team. On paper, you probably wouldn't say we won that game. They had lots of chances, but it was a proper cup tie. Both teams had good chances. Ilman and Dai, who has been an absolute stinker for me in the league, really kind of shined in the FA Cup. I think he scored against Liverpool as well. No, he didn't. Just scratch that. But yeah, he was brilliant in the FA Cup for me. But yeah, it was when about that time in kind of late November, December that formation changed, kind of brought it back to basics, and that's what it turned around. So I've got playoffs to look forward to. I have been the whole time I've been planning for next season, but even the scouting the players for like pre-contracts and all that stuff. Like all those players I've been looking at have been kind of League One level, because that's where I expect to be. But I have a chance, and that's more than I could have asked for. So we'll see. We'll see. The big thing is that FA Cup run has managed to bring Bolton decently in the clear debt wise. Like we were at one point hovering around £1 million in debt. We now have well over £1 million in the clear, in the green. So that's huge for Bolton. Hopefully it'll mean that we can spend a wee bit of money for next season, and we can make a proper push for promotion, or hopefully, if all goes well, maybe a stay in the Championship.
Well, we've got that to look forward to because we're going to be recording it. Me and Stuart are going to be there. Spectators. Can I just say that it's very nice to be on the other side of a playoff. If you watch the previous server that we've done, my experience with the playoff was not that positive, shall we say. So hopefully you will have better luck with it. But yeah, any one player you want to highlight that you really thought through?
To be honest, I think Josh Sheehan. I tried my hardest throughout the season to find a loan or a purchase, a free agent in the centre of the park that would really that area of the park. It's probably the weakest area of the field for me. And honestly, when Josh Sheehan didn't play, I felt naked. I felt we couldn't create chances. I felt that we didn't have any sort of energy in midfield. I didn't feel like we had the ability to win the ball back in midfield, even though his tackling isn't great. He seems to make a lot of tackles.
It was
So for even though there's players with better higher average ratings, when Josh Sheehan didn't play, I felt like we didn't. So
yeah, I mean, it just highlights he played the most games outfield for your
yep,
squad, but also, I mean, 12 assists and 7 goals just shows
yep,
the what kind of performances he brought to the team.
yeah. So he's my shout out.
So I mean, we don't want to speculate yet. Obviously, you've got the playoffs to go through. Maybe we can ask you what your plans are going forward after the playoffs are over. So let's leave that. But
Yeah,
let's focus on the playoffs, and hopefully,
yep.
we can have a triple promotion, which would be
Oh, it's never happened.
never happened. I mean, rarely do we get a double promotion.
Yeah,
So that's quite rare. But to get all three of us going up in the one season, I think would be very, very cool. Very, very cool. That would be because we've never been all in the championship at the same time.
that's true.
So looking forward to it. It is going to be a long summer window for us. Partially my fault, partially for that. But yeah, it is exciting times. We will be back with Luke's playoff final, or playoff first round, and then hopefully a final in there as well. But all that's left to say is if you like the Football Manager content, there's plenty more coming. Subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff, and all that's left to say is any thoughts, comments, general hosting remarks, leave them below. Thank you very much. Bye bye.